Hello and welcome to Getting APIs to Work. Today we'll talk about API consumption. API consumption is a topic that I've mentioned in a number of videos already because what I always like to say is that APIs are only valuable when they're getting consumed. Just producing API is only half the game. If you're not caring about how they get consumed, they won't create any value. The reason why I want to talk about it today is that a new report was published by Forrester. It was commissioned by Axway, and this report looks at the problems, so to speak, of API consumption. It also looks at the opportunities that you can get with better API consumption, and it also looks at some of the solutions that you can look at, that you can consider when you want to improve your API consumption. Let's look at this report, not in detail, but I want to give you, so to speak, a little bit of a teaser preview of the report. Unsurprisingly, when you ask people where the value of APIs is in production or in consumption, most people will say, sure, they also need to be consumed. So 86% of the people who were asked in the survey, I think were around 300 people who were part of the survey, said that in order to produce value, APIs need to be consumed. Another interesting figure also that you see reflected in a lot of other reports and studies coming out is those 71% who are saying that they don't experience the business results they were hoping for. And I think that is something that we've seen for quite a while, that organizations are saying, we understand that there is a lot of potential business in APIs, but we don't get out of it what we want to get out of it. Now, I don't think that just looking at consumption will completely solve it, but I also think that you also have to fix consumption. You have to think more about consumption in order to make sure that your APIs realize the most possible value, and for doing that they need to be good APIs and they need to be consumed, and therefore consumption is really important. And what organizations are saying is that if you did a better job at supporting consumption, then 69% of the people are saying, yes, we would think that would help our return on investment in the API space. I think there is this direct relationship, and most people also put a number on it and say they could get a 21% increase in terms of how much they get out of their API investments. I'm not sure about this number, but definitely there would be an increase in what you get out of your APIs if you can get them consumed more. Not having more APIs, just making sure that the ones you have are used more. When we look at where the current challenges are, and I think this is important, and as you can see, those numbers are all pretty high. 68% of the respondents are saying that they struggle to obtain measurable value data from the APIs, meaning that they don't even quite understand how consumption is going. And if you want to fix consumption, you probably first need to get some numbers so that you understand it. Also, similarly high numbers, 65% are saying they struggle to provide a good user experience to discover APIs. 63% are saying they struggle to create a good user experience for contributing APIs. So both for the consumers of APIs and for the producers of APIs, most organizations are saying, we would like this to be better. We don't think this is as good as it could be and probably should be. And as a result, like a similarly high number of organizations, 61%, are saying that APIs are not adopted and used as much as they think they should be. And I think this really is a very important picture to look at, considering that over half of organizations understand the value of APIs, they're investing in that space, but they also see that they're not quite realizing the value. So making sure that you fix those problems that you have with realizing the value, this is something that is a really worthwhile exercise. And a lot of organizations nowadays are looking at investing in tooling. And Axway is one company that sells tooling in this space. There are other companies as well, of course. And what do organizations expect from this? And I think this is a good sign what you might also want to look at when it comes to better understanding how can I improve how APIs work inside our organization. So a lot of organizations are saying they would like to have a product that helps them to increase revenue from API traffic, and increasing consumption there is a very important factor. They want to increase the usage and value of their APIs. They want to make it easier to manage APIs, and that often also means how hard is it to publish an API, how hard is it to update an API. These kind of things should be as easy as I can possibly make it. It also should be very easy to get onto this platform, so that if somebody wants to find out what kind of building blocks there are, it's easy for them to start using this API platform that is there. And it also should be easy to push out new things and get those adopted, so that when, again, driven from the business side, you come up with really good ideas of how you could do better business, how you could maybe explore new business segments, that once you have your first building blocks out there, those actually can be easily found and adopted, for example, when you create improved user experiences and these kind of things. So this is the kind of data that you can find in the report. I think it's really interesting. It's relatively short, so I would encourage you to just check it out and read through it. I think it's really valuable to understand what the current challenges are in that API consumption space. And if we wrap it up, what are the conclusions that we can take? One of the conclusions definitely is to say API consumption is a necessary part of API success. You cannot be successful with APIs when you're not successfully consuming APIs. Consumption is not the only thing that you need to make sure that it happens in your organization, but it's a necessary thing. So really think through what are our current roadblocks, so to speak, when it comes to increasing, maximizing, improving API consumption. In order to better understand that, you just need to understand how APIs are getting consumed. So measuring consumption, understanding who's using a building block, how much is it getting used, should we improve it, do we have some building blocks maybe that are okay, but maybe we need better ones, do we need to replace them? So just kind of managing this inventory of digital building blocks is something that is important, and in order to do that, you need to understand what consumption is looking like. Otherwise, you're kind of flying in the dark a little bit. And if you have the right APIs, which means you have business-aligned APIs, then those APIs that you can look at and where you can measure consumption are business-aligned building blocks, meaning they give you a pretty direct insight into how kind of the digital part of your business is doing. What are our digital building blocks looking like? Which ones are trending upwards? Which ones are trending downwards? Where maybe do we have gaps that we should fill with new developments? So it's really something that gives you a very good insight into the digital side of your organization. And in order to do all of this, what you need to do is really take API management seriously. Think through the whole life cycle from API production to API consumption, through all the phases throughout there, from the developer side and from the consumer side. And you also need to make sure that you actually creating the right APIs, meaning that you have APIs that are aligned with your business and not just some technical side effects of the systems that you have. And with that, we're done for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting. Once again, I'll link the report from the description of this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Until then, see you and all the best. Bye-bye.